How do you go in your law firm? How do you go into your marketplace and create a movement? Okay, number one is you need to first understand there are 3 mega markets when it comes to a movement: health, wealth, relationships. Health, wealth, relationships. Okay, so when you look at like the entire economy, the 3 biggest pain points that people have is with relationships, which has to do with status, okay, and love. And then separately, health has to do with, diet. It could have to do with, their psychological health. It could have to do with fitness, etc. Flexing, right? And then last but not least, health, wealth, wealth, right? Wealth is how to make money, how to become successful by making more money, becoming more successful in business, etc. So there's 3 mega niches. Then within those 3 mega niches, there are sub niches. Okay. Sub niches are niches within the mega niches. So, okay, mega niche, health. Sub niche, health / diet. Sub niche, health / diet / keto. Health / diet / intermittent fasting. Health / diet / paleo. The key is to own that niche. So for example, for Mark Wasserman, he succeeded because he went from criminal defense, he went from lawyer to criminal defense lawyer to marijuana defense lawyer. Okay. Everyone see that? But he owned it. He owned it in his branding. He didn't deviate from it for years and years and years and years and years. Okay. So that is an example of niching down. The next is, so if we want to create a mass movement, we have to own our niche. That's step 1. Step number 2 is we have to decide on the prolific index where we are going to stand. Okay, so there's the prolific index, which looks like this. Okay, and we have prolific. Okay, so we have mass market, prolific, and then we have, so mass market, prolific, and then we have crazy. Okay. So it looks like this. Okay, can everyone see that? Mass market, prolific, crazy. This, okay, the vertical axis is money. Okay, you will make more money by being prolific, which is we don't want to be generic. Okay, mass market is when we apply to everyone, right? Mass market means you have no enemies, you have no polarization in your message. Everyone following this? You have no polarization here. Crazy, which is this category out here, crazy means you have so much polarization that you can't make a penny off of it because it's so outlandishly crazy, right? So we want to tone back crazy to prolific, and we want to be somewhere in the middle of mass market, which is no enemies, crazy, which is a ton of enemies, and we want to be right in the middle, right? And we want to be polarizing in our beliefs. So if we want to blow up our brand, your personal brand especially, we have to learn how to be polarizing. Okay, is everyone following this? I'm giving you some serious stuff here that took me a lot of learning. This is literally how you create mass movements and we've studied this, like how do cults create? How do, negative or positive mass movements create? And there's always a polarizing viewpoint, but the polarizing viewpoint is expressed in a way where it doesn't seem crazy, right? All right, so that's the second piece. The next thing is what's called your origin story. Okay, so number 3, your origin story. Your origin story is why you came to the realization that your polarizing belief is the way it is, right? So I call this your heart story, okay? Your heart story is how you came to the epiphany that you convince your audience of, the main epiphany, right? So for example, I share often that law firm owners can double their revenues in under 12 months. Why do I share that? Because I did that 3 years in a row. And I literally share the story of how I did that and the stories of other attorneys who did that, because that is my belief. So I will push away attorneys who want to live the 4-hour work week, retire on a beach, and not make a big impact in their market, because that's not me. And that's okay. And I'm sure I pushed away a ton of business because of it. But on the opposite side, those of you who are on here right now know that we've also attracted like crazies in a good way, people who are just fanatical about the movement and the education that we put out because we made those polarizing viewpoints, right? And without the polarizing viewpoints, nobody can cling, nobody can attach to your message. And that is what creates the viral effect on social media. Okay, next, so your heart story, okay, can be tied into the past. It can be tied into your current experiences. You can have 15 heart stories. That you could have a heart story on, I have a heart story on how I learned webinars. I have a heart story on how I doubled my business or tripled my business in the second year. I have a heart story on how I doubled it from the next year. I have a heart story on when my family went bankrupt. I have a heart story on multiple facets of your life experience. All can tie up to your core beliefs, which create a mass movement, which is the multiplier effect for social media marketing. Okay, so identity shift is the next one. Okay, step number 4. All right, so your identity shift is okay. You've seen us do this at our events. Okay, we hold very large events for attorneys, virtual events and in person now starting this month. And because we make claims at our events, we always tie it to an identity shift. So we don't just say, you can double your firm next year, right? We also say, do you want to join the relentless lawyer movement? Okay, you've seen us do this at our events. Do you want to join the NH21 movement? We held an event halfway through the year. NH21 stands for the next half of 2021, right? The NH21 movement. Who wants to join that movement, right? And when people commit to an identity shift, not only will it build your brand better, but it'll help them take action, because true change doesn't happen until an identity shift has taken place, okay? So identity shift, identity shift, identity shift. What's that, number 4 or 5? Is that 5? Okay, 4. All right, so number 4, identity shift. If you're not creating an identity shift in your market, you are not being prolific enough. All right, next, we talked about this, but it is, it's relatability, okay? So if we're gonna be polarizing, okay, we also have to be relatable. That says relatable. Number 5, relatable. Now, we can make claims, we can be magical, we can inspire all these people with our brand, but if we're not relatable, okay, number 5, if we're not relatable with our brand, then at the end of the day, people are going to self-select themselves out of your movement. I'll say that again. If you're not relatable with your messaging, attorneys, okay, it's not about technobabble. If you want to have your YouTube channel blow up, if you want to have your Instagram blow up, if you want to have your TikTok blow up, train yourself to speak in third grader language. Third grader language, okay? I forget what it's called. Edison, Hemingway app. Everyone write this down. Hemingway, Hemmingway, Hemingway app. Hemingway app is something you can take written content and put it through, okay? And then the Hemingway app will spit back to you, is this written in 9th grader language, 12th grader language, or 3rd grader language, okay? One of the hardest things for attorneys to do when they try to blow up their marketing is dumbing down their language, okay? Because you become unrelatable and people think that's easy for you to say, you don't understand my situation. So the key is to bring down to the lowest common denominator of someone who solved this problem you're teaching someone about through your Instagram or through your YouTube. Bring it down to the lowest common denominator and start learning how to explain stories of relatability, which would be something like, and this guy, I'll hide their name because da 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 da. But this person that I was working with went through X, Y, and Z, and they thought it was unsolvable, and they thought this was going to happen. But here's what really happened when they dealt with my law firm: this, and this happened to be solved. So I don't know what situation you're in right now, but if that's you, or if you're even a level above that, just know there can be a solution to this. Okay. So that's number 5. That's relatable. Okay. Number 6, okay, is the so important. Okay. I'm going to write it in big letters: false beliefs. One of the reasons we've been able to grow our brand very rapidly and a very large email list and these events that we hold is because we kick the false beliefs of attorneys. Now, sometimes attorneys do not know that they have a limiting belief. So we can then show them that they have a limiting belief. I'm just giving you this so you can think through your market, whether it's family law, whether it's criminal defense, personal injury, whatever niche you're in, business law. Think about what are the top 3 beliefs that my audience does or does not yet know that they have. I'll say that again. What are the top 3 limiting beliefs that my audience does or does not yet know that they have that hold them back? Okay. If you want to create a movement and blow up on social media and blow up on your YouTube, you have to be polarizing, balanced with relatability. However, you also need to shatter false beliefs with every piece of content you can. So for example, we found that one of the false beliefs that holds attorneys back is lack of vision, right? A lot of the attorneys that we talk to, they don't have an actual growth goal, right? They don't have an actual vision for the future, and they're milking out profits in business for selfish reasons, for their own net profit, and they expect to attract an A-class team when they've created a selfish business model, milking out profits with no growth plan, which provides no future growth plan for the people on the team. And no wonder you don't recruit A-level talent at your firm. See how that got under some of your skin? Well, I know it is because we've held tons of events. We put out tons of videos, right? And we know that that actually gets people's gears churning. And we get people pissed off at that, right? We had someone who joined our Elite 360 offer at our challenge last week. This guy's doing over $5 million a year. He signed up with our Elite 360 offer. And the only reason he signed up is because he was like, Bill, when you said that vision thing, it ate me alive for the whole night after. He was like, it just kept eating me alive. I'm doing $5 million a year. I thought everything was going great. I have all this money in the bank. I have all this success. And yet my revenues haven't grown for X years. Right? So he decided that he wanted to choose a different path, which was a path with clear growth goals, clear vision. If you don't shatter the false beliefs of your market, you will not blow up on social media or Instagram. So I need you to think, if it's divorce, what are the false beliefs that my clients have about divorce? What are the false beliefs that my clients have about criminal defense? What are the false beliefs that my clients have about personal injury? What are the false beliefs that my clients have about business law? What are the false beliefs my clients have about bankruptcy law? Think about this. Okay, one of them could be, I can handle this case on my own. Do I actually need an attorney? The other could be, am I gonna, all attorneys are ripoffs, right? So we have to create content that fights back against those false beliefs. And yes, you'll push some people away, but at the same time, you'll build a movement on the other back end of it, okay? All right, so the last thing I want to point out here is, let's see what we got here. The ROI, okay, the ROI expectations. Okay, if you want to create a mass movement and everything you do is ROI driven, do you think that people are going to gravitate towards you if everything's tied to return on investment? Or do you think, no, they're not going to be driven towards you if everything you do is driven to return on investment? The answer is no. Okay. So a lot of attorneys, when they sign up for a marketing thing, what is the top words that come out of their mouth? Top words that come out of their mouth is this. And I'm an agency, so I've been through this over 100 times. Okay. With signing up lawyers to work with a marketing agency. Okay. It's this: if you can get me results, I'll stick with you forever, right? I understand that, right? And I understand that the macro of your marketing does have to produce results. You're in business. However, there is a time and place for results focus, okay? If everything you do on social media leads to an outcome that says, by the way, go to my website and request a consultation, every single video, and every single video is clearly a sales funnel of sorts, then people are going to start pushing away. It's pretty simple, right? So this is where Gary Vaynerchuk came up with the concept of jab, 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 right hook. Jab, 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 right hook means give, then ask. Give, then ask. Most attorneys don't get the give part. True or false? You guys see what I'm saying? So you can't just ask, especially if it's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. These are social media platforms. Social. Imagine going to a social gathering and just literally handing out business cards to everyone. You've met someone like that probably, right? Do you remember the person? Are you excited to reach out to that person, right? How would you connect with someone in a social gathering well to where you'd be excited if they followed up? You'd probably be excited if they shared a authentic story about themselves with you. You'd probably be excited if they listened well to you, right? You'd probably be excited if they reached out and they didn't sell you something on the first time they met you, right? So I'm telling you this because this is one of the keys of mass movements, and you want your clients to come to their own conclusions as to why they need your service. I'll say that again. The goal is to have your clients come to their own conclusion without you saying, this is why you should do this. There's a time for that. There's also a time not for that. So for example, you could share with someone, if you're criminal defense, you could share with someone, okay, that last time we had a client who chose to go with a public defender. We heard the story afterwards. Here's what happened, and here's what could have happened if you had an attorney. Pause. You could pause after sharing a story like that, and the client will put 2 and 2 together and go, so that means if I choose a public defender and do that, I could make a mistake like that one story they told me about. This is the key of content marketing. Movement, 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 movement. What? Movement, okay? Create a movement. Then the content creation is very simple. So the next step is content creation. All right, content creation. Number 1, pillar. Number 2, repurposing. Number 3, document. Don't create. 4 is automated content. All right, 4 pieces of content creation. Number 1, pillar content, okay? Pillar content is long pieces of content that you create once, that then step 2 gets repurposed and chopped up, okay? So you see us do this on our YouTube channel. We have this event, this Tuesday show that we do every single Tuesday called the Laws of Business Mastermind Show. This show happens every Tuesday, except when we're running other events. So we take this event, this thing I'm doing right now for you. This will be recorded. This will then be chopped up. This will be posted to our YouTube channel. Snippets of it will be posted to our social media platforms on SMB Team social media. By the way, those of you who aren't following SMB Team social media, go and follow at SMB Team on Instagram, and you'll see how we do this. You can also go on mine, Bill Hauser Business is mine. You can watch how we do this. All we do is we create pillar content, and then we have systems in place that repurpose it on a recurring basis. So if you ever record a video, a Q&A video for a client, the goal is to always mandatorily enforce that that video that you did for a client is repurposed, okay? And meaning that it's posted on YouTube, posted on an Instagram profile, posted on a Facebook profile, etc. Okay, makes sense? Everyone following this? Make that mandatory. I know some attorneys we were talking to over the challenge who create videos for their clients answering questions, right? And then just let them sit in the ether. Stop that madness. Take the video that you spent precious time creating to answer a client's Q&A and then post that elsewhere, because it will have a multiplier effect. All right. Number 3, document, don't create. That's what number 3 says. Document, don't create. Document, don't create. Document, don't create. You shouldn't have to create content. Okay. If you are an expert, the content's already in you. So I want everyone to write this phrase down. A prepared person beats a prepared message. Must I say it again? A prepared person beats a prepared message. If you are prepared on the thing that you're teaching, you don't have to create content. You are able to just document. Document. All you're doing is documenting something you've already done. This is what, so documenting means here's how we handle X types of case. Here's how we help clients through X problem. Here's how we, here's how we do it, right? That's it. So take the pressure off of needing to create content and first think, what are things I already do that I can just document, right? And then number 4 is automated content. Automated content, so important. So automated content goes like this. Automated content is what we heard Mark Wasserman talk about earlier, where, he didn't talk about this. Ali Awad talked about this when we had him on at the summit. Ali Awad said he creates car crash videos, like auto accident videos. And then in the comments, all he does is ask, whose fault do you think it is? That is an example of automated content. You could set up principles behind what kinds of videos you want to post on your Instagram. You could create a fun question. And then one piece of your content per week is an automated piece of content, like a car crash video or something that has a recurring theme that's repurposed from another source rather than from your source. So remember this, a prepared person beats a prepared message. You already have the knowledge within you.